So you would have come to know with the affirmation, the topic for today's satsang is generosity. And as Swamiji has mentioned, most of us think generosity is, giving physical things. Um, I have donated something. I have gone to poor people and given them some food. And yes, this is very good. But what the main important point of that reading was in the last, what we have to realize that everything that is within us, that is mine, is coming from God. Imagine you giving someone some money, and that person starts thinking that that is his money, and out of that money he takes out 10% and returns it to you and saying, "Dekho, I am so danveer." Imagine, and that is what is happening. Everything is his, but in this giving is what is important. So what we will discuss is that how these masters help, how the progression of a human soul happens through this generosity that we are talking of. The aim of generosity is to open your heart. Because on the spiritual path, if you do not open your heart and include the well-being and welfare of others, you will not progress much, because that selfishness has to expand. I am reminded of a story of a cousin brother of mine. He went into the US. Now he is based in Sacramento and has hotels and all. But initially he had gone trying his, jiggery puggery and going in there. And out there he started working initially, and then he bought some land from some another owner, and there were fruit plantations on that land, and he was looking after. So he says that after a month or so of his buying the land and he had employed people, he used to go on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So he says suddenly he saw two boys come. One was 10 years old, another 12 years. Both were brothers. And they came to him and said, "Okay, we want to have a meeting." And this guy was, giving small kids, what meeting do they want? But he said, oh, he took that seriously, and he said, okay, he put those containers of fruits, and he said, let's sit on this and have a meeting. And they were very serious. And they said, we have a proposal. The owner before you, we had an agreement with him that there's a track that is going through your farm, and on that side is our friend's house. So our mother does not allow us, because we are very young, it doesn't allow us to go by cycle by the road. Would you allow us to go through this track of yours? And this guy realized, my cousin realized, these guys are serious and they actually are wanting a. So he says, okay, I'll do that, but I will increase it. You are walking through this 500-600 meters of land where on either side there are oranges, there are nimbus and all that stuff he was growing. He says you can eat also, and you can take it to your home also. And both the boys got excited, and they ran back to their mother to tell. And he said, I got busy, and suddenly after 5-10 minutes he saw the mother coming along with the boys, and he said, oh, I have done something wrong. She came and asked, have you told them to take oranges from here? Have you told them? He said, yes. He says, why them only? You can take, all the neighbors who are here, everyone can take. There is no problem. But won't you suffer losses? He says, no. See, how can it be possible? You have got a crater of oranges. If someone is taking out 10 out of it, how will you not suffer a loss? He said, from the land that I come, there is a Baba Nanak who has said, Vand Chakku. So they didn't understand what is Vand Chakku. So they came back with a container. The lady came, and they were growing pumpkins. So she got pumpkins, and she said, what you said, please write on. So he, in English, he told me, Vand, V-A-N-D, Chakku, he wrote. And the thing started. All the neighbors used to come, take, and in fact, he remembered that when he used to come on weekends, while going back, his own car was filled because everyone was going different things. And in that state, he started realizing that the spirit has started, and everyone started saying Vande Shakko. And the best part of it was that when the time of the crop came, that lady came to him and said, today, surprisingly, instead of giving to everyone, my crop has doubled. Now, this is the spirit of just generosity that we are talking of. But on the spiritual front, this is, yes, a good thing. We have to donate to a place of work which is increasing our spiritual awareness. It is increasing the capacity of my heart to receive. This is very important. And the giving is not only material things, money or something. Even higher seva is seva itself. You go and do seva here, do seva anywhere. That is going even further, expanding your heart and not doing it कि I am doing something. And then one comes to the spiritual generosity, which is the ultimate for us. Why? If these masters were not generous, what would you and me have gotten? When Yogananda ji was given the first experience of Samadhi by Sri Yukteswar ji, and he was floating in ecstasy, and after about a week or so of that first experience, Sri Yukteswar ji called him and he said, Ke in the ashram, now you start doing these duties and organizes these things. So Master said to Sri Yukteswar ji that I am not interested in organizations. All these organizations are, a beehive kind of a thing. There are people having problems amongst themselves, someone saying something and all. I don't want this. I just want to be immersed in God. And to which Sri Yukteswar said, do you want to eat the channa alone? Do you want to drink the nectar of God alone? And if every one of these great masters had thought that way, would we have this knowledge? Would he have had this knowledge? And when Master started doing that, instead of thinking it as I am doing, my time is being wasted in this, he felt such an expansion that he realized that now God's perception could come more and more. And herein lies how to receive God's and Guru's grace. Master explained that actually most of us are spiritually dead. Why? We as it is have a small receptacle for God's grace, and in most of us it is turned upside down, and we are praying, give me grace, darshan do, and all that stuff, and he is coming but we are not able to feel. Why? The cup is turned upside down. The first thing we need to do is turn it up and then expand. Swami Kriyananda was sitting at Master's feet in Mount Washington, and he mentally prayed to him that teach me to love you the way you love me. He didn't say anything. Master completed the satsang, and after that, while he was going, he stopped next to Swami Kriyananda and he said, how can a small cup hold the love of the whole universe? And that is where the reply to all of us is. We have to expand our heart. That is kind of a prerequisite to receive the grace and the bliss of God. Because God's bliss is not just a trickle down from a mountain stream. It is a gush of oceans possibly. And therefore, we need to learn these things. Then comes a lot of us might think, then how do I get? Now this is wherein how masters adjust according to what the devotee wants. Lahiri Masha ji was like, you would know in that Varanasi, he used to be in Samadhi most of the nights. And in the morning, there was his devotee named Lakshman Ram. They used to go for Ganga Snan. So now, since he had just come out of Samadhi, he was drunk in God's love. And he couldn't actually walk straight. He was, stagger like this and go till Ganga Ma. And Lakshman Ram used to be holding him. So there used to be one halwai on the way. And he used to see, okay, what kind of people is this, baal safed ho gaye and still drinking the whole night. But he noticed that every day this guy is doing like this and this other. So he asked Lakshman Ramji, what is he's an alcoholic? He said, no, yes, he is an alcoholic, but he is drunk in God's love. So after he had heard this, while Lahiri Maharaj Ji was coming back after Ganga Snan, he stood on the way. He asked him, उतर गई? तो Lahiri Maharaj Ji just smiled at him, and in that smile, something went up his spine. And that guy became a very advanced Kriya Yogi. This is how masters are loving us, how they are calling out to us. It is how much you want to take. Ask it as your right. Expand your heart and it will come to you. I am reminded of a story of Ramakrishna Paramahansa's disciple. Kalipada Ghosh was his name, and he was a rich person, and he used to be doing all those things which rich people do, basically drinking in the night and all that stuff. One of his friends one day said that there is one Ramakrishna Paramahansa and you go to him and all these things happen. So people whom he used to drink with or company, they started going there. He initially tried to stop them. It's a wastage of time. These people are all that way. But many days had passed. So he was drinking at around 11 in the night. He said, it's too much now. Let me go and see that chap. So he was drunk. He called for his tonga and went there. And when he reached there, so the lights were off. Only in the Kali Mata Mandir, there was some light coming out. So he went in there and he saw Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And he was at that time drunk in God's love, Divine Mother's love. And there were tears flowing. And he also could not walk straight. And he said, yeah, this guy is also drunk like me. I am also not able to walk straight. So he went to him. But when he went close to him, he felt some other intoxication. He said, which drink are you having? I want to have this drink. And at that time, Ramakrishna Paramahansa touched him. And he never drank after that because he had tasted God's love and God's intoxication. But Kalipada Ghosh was not a normal person. He decided that I have wasted so many years of my life, I have to seek the blessing of the master. So one day he made a plan that from Kali Mata Mandir towards the Belur Mutt land, if you have been there, Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to either walk from the bridge or take a tonga and go towards that side. So this day, Kalipada Ghoshji decided, I am going to take a boat and go till and say, you come along with me. Ramakrishna Paramahansa agreed. He took the boat and in the middle of the river, he stopped rowing. So Ramakrishna says, why have you stopped rowing? He says, Master, I need your blessings. Otherwise, this boat will not move from here. We were going to be here stranded in the middle of this river. And so Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, my blessings are always with you. He says, no, I need your blessings. So he said, okay, I generally don't do it like this, but I will give you the mantra diksha here. So he gave him the mantra diksha on the boat in the middle of the river. And after receiving it, he touched the feet of Ramakrishna Paramahansa and still said, I need your blessings. He says, what do you want? I have given you everything. He says, no, I need your blessings. He says, what do you want then? He said, I want when I leave this body that you should come to receive me. And to which Ramakrishna said, okay, fine, take me across. We'll see. So he went across, and this story is told by another disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, whose name was also Swami Yogananda. He was sitting with Kalipada Ghosh when he was on a so-called deathbed, and with him, and at that moment he explains that suddenly Kalipada Ghosh said, okay, get the chair, master is here. And that is the love of these masters. That is the generosity of these masters. They are wanting to help us beyond anything that we can imagine. However, we have our cup upturned. We have to make it right. And this is where generosity comes from. Generosity has levels, if you may call it. A person, and the way we are taught in our life, how are we taught? Don't give it when we are small children. Don't give it to that person. Don't give it to that person. Okay, when you are gone into school, compete, don't hear your notes. Don't do this, don't do this. Why? We are continuously taught, mine, I need this. Or at maximum we want to share with family or a good friend. And this is what is the play of Maya, to contract our expensiveness. Me, mine, like Master used to say, me and my wife and 2 kids, and then the world ends. Nothing else. He says, no, you have to expand. You have to expand, and in that expansion only, God's love, everything that you could have possibly dreamed of will come. And this has been proven by these masters. Staying without food, staying without sleep. How was it possible? Ever thought? The human brain starts thinking, okay, Master hardly used to eat, and he used to prepare food for others without even tasting them. He used to come to know the taste from his spiritual eye. Okay, Master hardly ever slept. So therefore I start thinking, the deluded brain, I will decrease my sleep. I will sleep for 4 hours only. And I will start fasting. And what will happen? When I am meditating, my stomach is grumbling. And I am thinking of eating something. And if I haven't slept, so I am sitting and doing this. Isn't it? Why? We are trying to approach the thing from the effect part. He did not sleep because when he went into those samadhi states and ecstatic states of God, in 1-2 hours the body is gotten so much energy, so much rest, that a person will not sleep for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Doesn't require sleep in one samadhi state. Why? Because the body is rested completely. What has happened in samadhi? Every bodily function has almost stopped. Heart has stopped pumping. Liver, every organ which was digestion, breathing has stopped. And it has, for the first time in this physical life, got actual rest. And when a person comes out of that state, such vast bliss is flowing from him, he cannot contain it. And then, in that state, the person need not sleep. The person need not eat, because he is being replenished by God. But what we do, we catch hold of these outer things and we start doing those things. More important is go within. And what Sri Yukteswar said is the best way forward. Give the body its basic food and its basic rest, and then dump the body and meditate. That is the way to go and proceed on this path. Lastly, I'll say on the generosity part is that most of us would think, okay, these are great masters, obviously. Any great master, any person, he would start an organization, and that organization must be the most efficient. Everyone would be in very good harmony, everything great, and it's like heaven on earth. Don't we think that? He's a master, it should be like that. But what do you see in the reality? Swami Dhirananda came to Master, and we know what happened. When Master was on the tours, he kind of made another faction and kind of broke up SRF that time. What did Master do? Master never ever said one word to Swami Dhirananda, who gave up Swami-dom after that. He got married. But Master, every year, because Master's favorite fruit was mangoes, every year a crate of mango used to come from India, and he used to send it to Swami Dhirananda every year and write a note, I love you, come back to me. But Swami Dhirananda had realized that he was very advanced soul, he was not a normal person, but he had realized that I have done wrong. He never ever, till the time Master left, they never met. He remained in US. That is the love. That is the generosity. Master himself told Judas, who had so-called backstabbed Jesus Christ, we would think that he is going to be in hell forever. No. Judas was a very advanced soul. To become one of the 13 apostles of Jesus Christ, he had to be very advanced. But the vritti of money came to him, and for some money, for some gold, he gave that information. Later on, he committed suicide. I don't know whether you're aware of it or not. But what Master said is that during Master's lifetime, he recognized him. He was a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahans, and in that lifetime, he got liberated. He did not tell who it is. That is the love and generosity of our Masters and God. Why restrict ourselves? In generosity, Master said, be practical also. It does not mean that I give everything. Everything, yes, people have given up. Master himself gave up everything. But that is for a person who has decided. The next meal will come from God, and he arranges for it, by the way. But we are, most of us, in the world. So, see according to what your situation is, and teething, donating, doing seva, coming for satsang is a very, very important part of it. You will receive more than what you will give. I am telling you, the moment, once you will feel the pouring down of bliss of God in your heart, you will actually realize that your heart cannot contain it. So much love. And a glimpse of that, you will leave the whole world for it. And that is what generosity is.